Indianapolis, the racing capital of the world. Since 1909, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has been the undisputed pinnacle of the racing world. This is the place where legends are made and hearts are broken. This is the one race everyone wants to win. For the first time in its 54-year history, the SCCA National Championship Runoffs travels to Indianapolis. With nearly 1,000 entries in 28 different classes, the Runoffs is the biggest auto race in the world. It features the best amateur drivers in the country vying for the title of national champion. One legendary track, one epic race, one shot at glory. The SCCA Runoffs starts now. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the third and final day of the 54th running of the Sports Car Club of America's National Championship Runoffs here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It is another sun-kissed day, however, by far and away the coolest of the 3 days of competition. So it's going to be an interesting morning for all of our competitors. Great to have you with us. I'm Greg Creamer, joined by Jeff Lepper. We'll also have Rick Benjamin and Dorsey Schrader in the booth as the day unfolds. And doing yeoman's duty down in pit lane is Hayward Wagner. And we are looking forward to bringing you this third and final day of action. It's a little bit bittersweet, but it's been glorious. The anthem is coming at you, folks. Enjoy.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Absolutely beautiful rendition. Wonderful way to start off this third and final day. As I was saying, bittersweet. The bitter part is that this is coming to a close today. The sweet part has been the entirety of the event, Jeff. It has been an absolutely remarkable event. We've had fabulous weather. We've had that great Indianapolis RV rescue crew, EV crew, that have been doing just a superb job. And all of the members of SCCA, from the drivers right through every potential specialty, have executed this event beautifully.
It has, and a lot of folks have been here almost a week and a half, when you think about it. So it is bittersweet. It's one of those, well, the event's getting ready to end, but it's like, woohoo, the event's getting ready to end. Except for a lot of people are getting ready to get home, but this final day is going to be an exciting day. A lot of great racing still to come on this Sunday, and the paddock's still pretty full. I thought a lot of people were going to be getting out of here, driving in this morning. I'm like, wow, there's still a lot of cars here. So, but with 9 races here this weekend, today, it's going to be a action-packed event.
Oh, I think it is, absolutely. I think people just don't want to leave. I think it's been so special, record-setting on a lot of levels here in terms of entries, overall in terms of entries in classes, and achievements as well on the track. It's been pretty special. Jeff, speaking of achievements on the track, we've got to just quickly talk about what you did yesterday in T2, 13th to 6th, with a car that near the end of the race, as we heard on the broadcast when we kind of accidentally eavesdropped on your radio, was used up. You had issues with fourth gear, you had issues with axles and the like, and you hung in there for a 6th place finish. We heard the joy in your voice after that race. This is just very special today, isn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty emotional, man. You come across those bricks after what we've gone through fighting all week long with that car. Had braking problems right here down in turn number 1. Pedal went straight to the floor, 142 miles an hour. Thank God Michael Levine was so much faster than me in the Mustang, and he got out of the way there in turn number 1, and I got to coast all the way around the entire oval and got talked to by the stewards for that and told them, hey, I had a brake problem. No, oh, okay, it's okay. But, tears coming down. You cross that, see that pagoda, see the pylon, the yard of bricks, and think about all the racers that in your life that you've seen growing up, watching, and heroes that have raced here at this track.
Oh, yeah.
And then to get a chance to be on the same pavement, the same yard of bricks as those same people, it's pretty special. I mean, any boyhood dream you think about, Jeff Lepper crosses the line and wins the Indy 500. That's what you go through in your mind.
Yep.
And here you are at that place and getting a chance to do that. It's very, very special. But yeah, we broke an axle boot, had handling problems. I guess what the grease was doing was getting on that left rear tire, and in the right-handers, which is mostly around this corner,
exactly.
This racetrack here, I wasn't able to get any grip, and 2 laps from the end, actually broke that left rear axle half shaft. The right half shaft still was going, so it was really hard, and going down the straightaway, and the car's jerking back and forth. But able to make it, man, and just, the emotions was just crazy at how much it was, and that's what this place means. That's what SCCA Club Racing means. Boy, to have a chance to come here and race, what a great decision by SCCA.
Absolutely. And to be that far up in the pylon.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We got a photo of that, number 23 up there. It's so special.
You kind of have to, don't you? Absolutely beautiful morning here. 8 more races to unfold, so lots of action. And by the end here, we are going to have crowned 28 national champions, and multiply that by 3, and you've got the medal count that's going to be awarded here. It's just absolutely fantastic, and it's going to be a wonderful, busy, and fun day. And as I said, it's the coolest morning by far. And first few classes here are going to be interesting in terms of tires and cool temperatures on this track. Well, everybody, it is time to kick things off here for our third and final day of racing at the 54th running of SCCA's National Championship Runoffs at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We start off right out of the gate with Formula Enterprises. Very quick Formula machinery as they set sail for their run to the National Championship medals. I'm Greg Creamer along with Jeff Lepper, Hayward Wagner down in pit lane. And Jeff, I think this is going to be a little bit of an interesting race this morning because it's so cool. Coolest day by far. Now these cars do have a little bit of downforce with some wings, but it's cool. They got to get grip on a track that is not necessarily real grippy.
Not very grippy at all. This Innsfield road course is going to be pretty slick. And when you talk about overnight, all the dust that's been laid down on this track with these slick tires, Formula One cars coming down in that turn number 1, tight right-hander into the transition, really tight through turn number 2, a nice little sweeper in turn number 3, hard braking, right-hander, loaded in 4, the kink in 5, 6 and 6A. You'll see a lot of different lines through there, a lot of runoff onto Holman Boulevard, down that straightaway into turn number 7, a very tight left-hander that you're want to try to breed to get back to the outside to make it through the S's. Turn 8, 9, and 10, out onto the oval of turn number 11, really hard transition, on speed, about 4th gear, flat out onto the oval, over that bump in the transition, into a very tight right-hander turn number 12. Big curb there on the inside. You're not going to hit that in a Formula E car. 13, a very hard left-hander, then back on the oval to complete your lap here, presented by Mazda.
It's a challenging track, and talked to a lot of drivers. They said, everybody was looking at it at first going, well, you look at the design of the track and the fact it's flat, but it's a challenging racetrack. It's been tough to master. And Hayward Wagner in pit lane, you're right down in amongst all the activity. What's happening?
Guys, it is chilly this morning. It's been a fairly quiet morning on pit road. We're waiting for the Formula Enterprises cars to roll off. Interesting story in the class. Scott Reddick has been the class of this field for a number of years. He opted to focus on other classes this year. He's not in the class, and last year we had that great drive by Hannah Zellers. She's not in the class either, so the top 2 finishers not back this year. Also remember, it is Sunday morning. That means these guys have not been in these cars for 3 full days. So you're going to have a little bit of familiarity with the course that needs to come back while those tires are warming up.
Boy, he brings up a very good point, Jeff. There's been a lot that's happened. You saw lots of oil dry down on the track, as is the case when you have 24 races unfolding over the course of an event. But the bigger part of the story is that Thursday morning session that these guys had, it was significantly warmer on Thursday morning than it is now. 48 degrees.
Yeah, it's huge. Not even into the 50s yet, so you'll see a lot of aggressive tire warming here on that pace lap trying to get down. One of the advantages these cars might have is that aero. They're going to be able to benefit from that aero grip that they'll have with those front wings, front splitters. And you might have made some changes knowing that it was going to be colder, maybe put a little bit more wing into that car, but a little more wing means a little bit more drag, slower on the straightaways. It's going to see how this plays out with the strategy on what these crews and these drivers and these teams did.
Well, that's a good point with that long straight. If they've opted to trim it out a little bit here in these conditions, it could be sketchy in the opening laps. Field making its way out. Quickly, Jeff, this is a spec class. All the cars are built to the exact same spec. And as a result, it's really down to the drivers and the communication with the crew on setup. You can't do anything else to these cars.
No, not really. I mean, you're allowed to adjust your toe, the caster, the camber, your ride height. You get a little bit of the wing angle in the front and the rear. But as far as engines, the tires, the brakes, the shocks, that's all spec. It's the way it goes. So it really makes this a true driver's track. And really focus on the setup. You look at the data, try to figure out where you can go. And there's a lot of great names in this field, a lot of up-and-coming drivers, and a lot of people have been around for a little while trying to get it done here in Formula E.
Well, you just saw that great shot of the yard of bricks that extends across the track and down into pit lane. Always a reminder of where you are. Talking about some of the great drivers, we mentioned that Reddick isn't here, nor is Hannah Zellers. So Elliott Finlayson, a rookie to the Runoffs, put it on pole and turned an absolutely stellar lap at a 139.177. You look at his majors season this year, 10 wins, 6 poles. He was first both in majors points, and he won his championship in the Northern Conference as he hails out of Yorkville, Illinois, Chicago region in the Performance AFX Motorsports FE. Flynn Lazier, who's, boy, talk about connection to the Speedway. He is the son of 1996 Indy 500 winner Buddy Lazier and the grandson of 3-time Daytona 24-hour winner Bob Lazier, qualifying second here in the Tivoli Lodge in Primus FE out of Vail, Colorado. Your third qualifier, the 6th of Justin Gordon, having a great run, the AAA Garden Center entry. And in the 4th spot, Brandon Alexson, the number 83 out of Campbell, California, San Francisco region, in the Dan's Upholstery and OP Consulting entry. Interesting, Paul Snyder, who finished 3rd last year, got the bronze in the number 73 Comprehend Motorsports Civil Images entry out of the Central Carolina region. Last year, he was recovering from appendicitis and he was able to still pull together a 3rd. So I know he's hungry for this one here. And he's had himself 2 third-place finishes, the most recent, of course, last year. He'd like to improve on that. Starting alongside him in the row 3 outside in 6th is a rookie as well to the runoff, 01 Rhett Barkow out of Freeport, Illinois, in the Blackhawk Valley region in the Barkow Automotive entry. And then Quentin Nelson, who has been on a tear as well in majors competition in the number 112 entry, the Fancast 360 entry from Newark, Ohio. And the number 53, Alex Scaler, also has been very strong with multiple wins in majors competition in the Advantage Motorsports entry. In the 9th spot is Sabre Cook, who's been very busy. She also ran in SRF3 now in the number 37 Apple Motorsports Alliance Autosport entry. And in 10th, the guy who finished 5th last year, the 27 of Dean Opperman, in the Opperman Racing Machine, he was up in as far as 2nd in last year's race, so he too has had a taste of it. And there's a lot of people behind him that certainly have had tremendous potential and performances throughout the year.
They really have. And I was actually watching in Florida region, Justin Gordon, where I'm from. He runs in Sebring, Homestead area down there where we're at, Palm Beach International Raceway, and really the class of the field. And I talked about those aggressive tire warming going down Holman Boulevard there. He was using the entire track back and forth, the concrete, asphalt, going back and forth there. So it was really there as they're starting to pair up here, coming up to the green flag.
One last guy that I would keep an eye on, starting back in 15th, the number 45 of Thomas Burt from Woodway, Washington, and the Bulldog Motorsports entry. 4 wins from 4 poles in majors competition. Didn't quite get the qualifying run he was hoping for, but let's see how he races. Look at all the dust, and that is not just track dust, but it's also a little bit of that oil dry that's left over, adding to the slipperiness of this track. This first lap, and particularly turn 1, is crucial, and it could be incredibly exciting. Here we are green. The run for the gold in Formula Enterprises is underway. Finlayson gets a good start, and immediately Lazier, Gordon, and Alexson tuck in behind. Now they pop to the outside. Here we go, Jeff, down into turn 1. Sketchy cars dancing on the brakes. And I think everybody would be well advised to not be too aggressive here, and that is exactly how it plays out. Finlayson drives out in the lead with Lazier sitting in 2nd.
Yeah, they did go 3 wide there. They sort of mind their P's and Q's. Just look at Flynn Lazier going down to the inside, trying to see if he can make a move there in turn number 3. Here's that little quick kink in turn number 4 down to that hard braking zone of 5, as you see Gordon trying to look at the outside of Lazier.
Well, when Flynn made that little cutback move, it just would have slowed his exit speed a little bit. And Gordon tried to pounce, couldn't quite make that work, and had to tuck back into 3rd. But yeah, you were right. Nice and aggressive even on these cold tires. Boy, and look at this move. Lazier trying to break the draft coming down this straight. And it may have messed him up because it's got Gordon on the outside. You can carry speed. And if you can make it work here, you've got the inside for the next corner. Gordon does. Now, can Lazier get back? No. Gordon able to close the deal. Slots into sec. Great move by Gordon.
I think it was a great move by Lazier as well. Just kind of giving that up, knowing that this is just the first lap. A lot more time. Let's get some more temperatures in these tires and get underway here. here, and you can really just see the rooster tails of the dust and the oil dry down here on this track.
Well, and I also think that these guys are seeing Finlayson start to ease away, and you keep fighting side by side, you're going to let him absolutely check out in this field. He was on pole by a significant margin, so they know he's fast, so the last thing they want is to get into side-by-side battling and let him just go. And clearly Gordon thought, I've got some speed, I want to get clear here and see if I can do something with Elliot Finlayson, who has been mighty impressive here this entire week.
Wow, look at him all over the brakes down there in turn number 1 was Finlayson. It's one of those that I think each lap, as the track gets clearer, more temperature comes into the track, the sun's shining on it. I think we'll see one of our fastest laps near the end of this race here, as each lap they'll get quicker and quicker. There's a quick spin there for the number 37, Saber Cook. He got looks out there in turn number 1, but got it back underway.
Yep, righted it, but is going to obviously lose some serious ground. There's a look at Flynn Lazier, again qualified in that second spot, running third right now. Actually, Flynn made his debut in the Cooper Tire U.S. Formula F2000 Championship with no less a team than Newman Walks Racing. So last couple of years, he's been a regional champion in Formula V, which is the ladder that some of the other Laziers came up through running Formula V.
Yeah, and actually from, Vail, Colorado is Flynn Lazier, and I got a good chance to stay at the Lazier Hotel there in Vail, Colorado, so that's what they're really into, and Buddy was nice to have me as a guest there, and look at that, number 64 there off into the dirt. David Birdress. Sorry about the name here, but from below Wisconsin, the Manic Racing Simpson. Looks like he got underway, and the grass a little damp here this morning as well, so he'll drop well to the back of this field.
Yeah, we're starting to see a good battle here for fourth. It's Brandon Alexson, who is right in front of Paul Schneider, and Quentin Nelson right behind them. So a good three-car battle here for that fourth spot, or the fourth spot here, as a little bit of a margin has opened up between Flynn Lazier now and Brandon Alexson. Brandon in that white car with the green trim and the top of his helmet green. Snyder behind him with the orange highlights, and then the big move down to the inside by Quentin Nelson. Locked it up, snapped sideways over the curb.
And he's going to be in a dangerous place there. If anybody comes too wide and wide, he's going to keep just trying to roll it back to get out of the way. But Quentin Nelson locks up the rears here, right down there. And it's a huge bump over those curbs. I jumped them yesterday. I know how big they are at the start, but you don't want to do that in an open wheel car. You probably knock some of the alignment loose.
Well, I think he realized that he was not going to be able to make that, and if he didn't try and get behind those curbs, he might clout certainly Snyder that he was coming up the inside of. So it was a great move to try and save it, and then it ended up costing him when it snapped sideways when he hit those curbs, obviously.
With that 2.3-liter Mazda engine in the back of these Formula E creates a little bit of power as well in these cars. So this is one of those platforms that's kind of quicker than the Pro Mazdas, not as quick as an Atlantic car, but you can unrestrict these maybe, and there is different programming for the computers, and I've seen some of the FE cars in the regional levels run in the Atlantic class. So these cars are really, really fast for being a spec club car.
Oh, without doubt. And the irony here is, of course, when you have really cold temperatures, you have less grip through the tires and more engine power to try and put down through that less grip. So it really complicates things. But I'll tell you, Elliot Finlayson has figured it out. He is now opening up. Last time by the margin was 1.9 seconds, and I'm guessing it's well over 2. Keep an eye on that as he comes by, and his lead over Gore, 2.5 seconds. So he's running half second a lap faster than anybody else in his class right now.
Yeah, just got it hooked up, and I think that helps with him being out in the open as well. He's got that clear. Wow, do you see Justin Gordon there?
Shuddering.
All over the brakes and dancing down there into turn number 1. You get close to that wall. A little scary there as you turn down in turn number 1.
Yeah, he was just shuddering as he was so late on the brakes here. And again, that's the kind of thing that right behind him, Flynn Lazier is going to go, wow, if I could just keep hounding and pressuring him, I might be able to get him into a little bit of a mistake. And Flynn doing exactly that right now through this tricky 6, a double apex, sort of increasing radius corner. But that's the danger of it. It's increasing radius, which makes you think, all right, just come out of there with a big head of steam. But the problem is that then that hugely important 6A onto this long straight, and if you're out of position, you're slow.
It is, and I've seen a lot of the cars and you coming onto Holman Boulevard there onto that concrete patch, you use all the way to the edge of that concrete right before you get to the grass. You want to bring the car back as quick as you can to get to the nice straight braking zone here for turn number 9. As he looks down to the inside, there's Quentin Nelson trying to recover from that earlier spin coming in through the S's, turn 8, 9, and 10. And it's one of those sequences of corners. If you get one wrong, you get the next 2 wrong because there's just not enough room to recover there. Very tricky part of the course right here.
As Nelson now able to duck underneath Theodore Thorpe in the 0-5 entry and make his way up one more spot. Thorpe up from 23rd on the grid in the Dos Gatos Tequila Comprehend FE out of Dallas, Texas, and has worked his way up now into the 12th spot. So Quentin Nelson just took that away. But yeah, what was it, Richard Petty, I think it was, said? You get behind in your steering.
Yeah, you get behind in your steering.
And you do that coming out of 7, you're in trouble, aren't you?
It sure is. That's one of those, that's the trickiest part of this course. You would think it's turn 1, turn 2 complex, but no, those S's, you can lose so much time. That's the beginning of that segment 2 time. If you're watching the live timing there at SCCA.com, when you turn into turn number 7, that starts your segment 2. So it's very important to piece all these segments together, as looks like the 0-5 having a little bit of problems down there in that turn number 1.
Yeah, it's Theo Thorpe. He's been flying, like I said, having a great run, just a little hot into that corner. And the thing is, Jeff, is that we've found out that turn 10 has become one of the most important corners on this track, because up onto the banking in 11, a big overtaking area has become turn 12 there. And if you don't get out of 10 well, and it goes off camber at the exit, so you're kind of doing the balancing act while you're feeding power, you get it wrong, you can give up a spot easy into 12.
Very easily, and you can actually lose 2 or 3 places, because that's another where you go back to turn number 13 and then on to 14. If you mess up 12, then you're messed up for 13 and 14 through there, and it's a very tight, you can see how much it is there, and that's a huge curve on the inside. We've seen a lot of cars hit that, and a lot of great 2-wheel camera shots. If you're following along on SCCA, there's a lot of great shots of cars up on 2 wheels there. Oh, major damage here. Looks like the whole front wing is off that car, the number 64, and that's David Burdress. We talked about him earlier, and see if we can get a replay here of what happened. That's coming here into the kink, and
watch.
Oh, yeah, just looks like he ran out of room, the car that was right in front of him, and see if we can see who was running in front of him or not.
No. Unfortunate, though, as you talked about, the 64, David Burdress. Burdress out of Beloit, Wisconsin, in the BVR region, that Manic Racing entry, and it's just close quarters racing. And the fortunate thing with open wheel cars is that they didn't get wheel to wheel. Obviously, he got wing to wheel or something, and that's what peeled that nose off. Again, great work by the EV crew here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, on site right immediately and working to get that incident cleared up as fast as possible.
Yeah, trying to get him cleared and just pulled back a little bit, so he's kind of out of that little impact zone, so to speak, from the other cars. There's a slow car down there on the inside. Not sure who that was, but this Lazier here, right to the inside, gets chopped down by Gordon, has to go run through the grass. And look at Alexson now. Alexson is starting to make a move here as these 2 guys battling. I got to think that Gordon... yeah, exactly. I believe Gordon and Lazier probably slowed up a little bit for that yellow, and Alexson kind of worked his way up into that.
Rolled through it a little bit, you might say.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. And then, real aggressive move by Lazier into 13 now. Oh, and it caught Gordon by surprise. He's slow coming out of 13, and I think Alexson's through.
And Snyder might even get around him.
Yeah, Snyder's back there a little bit, so... Boy, this is interesting.
Yeah, Paul Snyder from Charlotte, North Carolina, getting the run here down the straightaway. As boy, Justin Gordon recovered great, got right around both those guys. Oh, big lockup for Lazier.
Yeah, huge. Look at that. He had to blow the whole thing. That's going to be costly. Now you can drive through. There's kind of a cut through road. You can drive through. He may have broken. He is at an absolute crawl. This is that little cut through I was talking about, but he's stopping. Something has gone wrong. It almost looks like maybe a massive brake failure. Look at this move. Schneider, very aggressive, and slips by. Nice move by Schneider.
Yeah, the number 73.
That's the guy who ended up with that podium, the 3rd spot last year. That number 31 is Elliott Sohn, who is having some sort of a problem, and they are just lapping him at this stage. So it is still Finlayson out front, but now Gordon will slot into second. Alexson in that car, the white and lime green entry, will be in that third and final medal spot. And he's not content with third right now, Jeff. He's working over Gordon.
He is, and Gordon got a great run after recovery there by getting hung out. Really worked that draft coming out of turn number 14, refocused himself through 13, and just got an amazing run onto the oval to go back into second place. That final podium is about 6.4 seconds up to Finlayson in the lead. So this is going to be a huge battle for second, and that final podium spot is really going to be the battle on the track right now.
And Schneider in that white car, it's white, blue, and orange, is doing everything he can to try and get up and join that scrap and make it a three-car battle. He would like to get another medal, obviously, but these guys right here, Brandon Alexson, is we talked about in that number 83. This is his fourth runoffs here. He too has had a couple of thirds, the most recent coming, but in 09 at Road America in this class, so it's been a bit of a drought for him. Like to come back and earn something here, but Snyder looks to be closing just a little bit. And the other part of it is, Jeff, with the battling that we've seen between Gordon Lazier, who's now out, and Alexson, it's given Finlayson an 8-second lead. So you're absolutely right. It is a big, big margin there. But look at that. Snyder is catching him.
He is, and you talk about that lead that Finlayson has had. It's 1.1 second of a lap quicker in the previous lap time, so he is stretching that out. He picked up a second and a half the previous lap, so he's doing a great job. And I got to think that maybe with the sequential transmissions in these cars, they do have a lot of problems shifting, and when you have that bit of a lockup, he maybe couldn't find a gear, or the lockup caused him to not find a gear, and the car's just stuck in between gears. There's a quick spin as well from another competitor. I believe that's the 18.
Either the 18 or the 10. Might have been Keith McDonald having a bit of a moment there in his entry out of Ranson, West Virginia. It's a good point, though, about the gearbox. And, of course, you use that to slow. Look at this. Alexson, tremendous run on Gordon. Ducks to the inside, but he did it really early. Now has to tuck back in. The minute you pull out, you just hit that wall of air. Now he's going to try it again. Down to the inside. And interesting, there's that waving yellow for, is that still for Lazier? I mean, he is well protected.
Yeah, not sure so what that's for. It must be something else. But you saw it was a great, there's a car over there. They're actually, that safety crew's on the ground there to remove Lazier's car. So that's why there is that waving yellow. And good heads-up driving by Alexson to be able to tuck back in and realize that there was that waving yellow. You would have passed there. It would have been the end of your race. Be DQ'd. And wow, Snyder really starting to hounding these two guys now. A three-way battle for second in Formula E.
A lot of experience, obviously, in this class for Snyder, and I wonder if they didn't make a little change to the car to make sure that it would be lively once we get to the second half of the race, because he's just come absolutely alive here.
He has, and we really want to plan for that. You kind of try to play in your mind how this race is going to play out. The sun's going to come out. It's going to get a little warmer. Maybe sacrifice a little bit in the earlier stages to go better. But you can see the control of this car as they are all over the place still.
Yeah, I mean, they turn like a fighter plane, don't they? Just with the downforce that they do have. And, you think about some of the other classes, the open wheel classes that run here. These have a little bit more contact patch on those tires, which allows them to be just a little bit more aggressive even yet. And here we go now. If that yellow's gone down in turn one, let's see. This time it doesn't look like Alexson was anywhere near as close.
This is one of those classes that SCCA has created, Formula Enterprise. You can buy this from SCCA Enterprise's car, similar to the Spec Racer Ford chassis. We saw it back in the day with the Shelby Can-Am car as well, with creating this. Van Diemen chassis is what that's the company that made all these chassis. And wow, just the three guys down there in that braking zone, nose to tail, still with that waving yellow. But they're pushing as hard as they can within limits down there in turn number one.
Yeah, covered by the blanket. I really don't quite understand why it's taken so long to take care of Lazier. He was already fairly protected, and there's all kinds of barriers down there where you could pull that back. And the problem is that it's taking away the best passing zone on the track when you've got a yellow down there in turn 1, which means you've got to try and get creative like Alexson is in other parts of the track, which makes it entertaining, but it also not always the easiest thing to execute here. Boy, did Alexson get a run out of 6-8 as he tries something down into 7. Ooh, Gordon dancing as he gets set up for 7, but Alexson stays put. Oh! For a minute when Gordon did that little transition, I thought Alexson might try and stuff it down the inside.
And coming maybe a lap to go, he probably would have stuffed it on there.
Exactly.
So starting to get some lap traffic.
Traffic
Here, and I'm not sure who that is. I believe that's Jeff Reed from Vacaville, California, the Fantasy Junction car dealership there that deals in exotic cars. So good to see them represented here in Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but the battle is on for second here, and you can see Gordon looking in his mirrors, trying to see where Alexson is and try to fit in the best that he can.
Well, that's it. He's trying to get the best run he can through 13 and especially 14 so that Alexson is too far back to catch any significant draft. Looks like he got it done. And as we approach halfway, it's time for us to step away for just a moment here. We'll be right back to Indianapolis. Coverage of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs is presented by Mazda. Driving matters.
Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The Mazda 3.
Every stitch is a part of me. All these shapes and designs express our devotion to craftsmanship. I want people to feel our passion when they touch it and when they drive it.
The all-new Mazda CX-5.
Welcome back, everybody. Our coverage of the Run to the Gold in Formula Enterprises. And Elliot Finlayson, the pole sitter, is having a Reddick-esque kind of day, building a big lead here and dominating the category. However, the battle for second is a 3-car scrum, and it is superb right now. The black number 6 of Gordon hangs on to it. The white and green number 83 of Brandon Alexson sits third, and the multicolored number 73 of Schneider with the orange wing right behind Alexson in fourth. He's looking to make a move. Is he going to get it done into turn 1? No, not quite close enough. Let's get down to pit lane. Hayward, what's up?
Guys, Jeff was just talking about SCCA Enterprises putting together this class. That Enterprise is one of the subsidiaries of SCCA. Another, the SCCA Foundation. Scott Dobler here with me, who works with Street Survival. Scott, what is TireX Street Survival?
TireX Street Survival is a single-day advanced teen driving clinic to give teenagers more experience behind the wheel in difficult situations.
And SCCA has been involved in this project for quite a number of years. How can SCCA members get involved in this?
It's really very easy. Just contact your region, tell them you want to do a street survival school. We can have mentors come out and help you set up, and then you can come a certified instructor and really teach young kids how to save lives.
One of the many ways that SCCA gives back. Thank you, Scott.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and it just an immensely important role in that category. You know, I think one of the real failings, to be honest, of this country is the driver education program when you compare it to what happens in other countries around the world. And having an organization like that to be able to work with teens and really teach them, one, the responsibilities of driving a 2-ton weapon at speed on a freeway and what can happen, but also teaching them the physics of what can happen. I recently was coming back from the airport in Atlanta and watched a car that had a huge hit into a wall simply because they did absolutely everything wrong. Turn, hit the brake at the same time, you know, transferred the weight in the wrong direction, and there's no training of that level in our driver education here. So having organizations like Street Survival phenomenal.
And it's all within the SCCA program. So you want to be one of these course workers, you want to be a technical inspector, you want to drive, you want to help out in the street survival. There's a place for you. Just go to SCCA.com, check it out. You can go to SCCA Enterprises and buy a car race car if you want. Spec Racer Ford, Formula Enterprise. Pretty good program. All that makes Sports Car Club of America what it is. Here's another great battle. You see that number 112 Nelson Quinton just working his way back up through that field after those earlier problems he had.
Yeah, it's been a fight back, and that I think now that's the number 31 who's been struggling a little bit and down the order once again. So that wasn't a pass for position, but Quinton doing everything he can to try and rejoin this group and fight maybe for a top 5. And right now, 5th, by the way, is held by the number 53 of Alex Scaler out of Flemington, New Jersey, in the SJR region, the Advantage Motorsports entry, and doing a really nice job there with no less a talent than Dean Opperman right on his 6 in the Opperman Racing entry. Dean, as I said, 4 wins, 9 podiums, and 5 poles in majors competition this year. It's been absolutely superb.
Yeah, great job for him, and that Plainfield, Illinois driver, Chicago region, so very close here too as well. Only about a 3-hour drive down the road from Chicago. You see that plastic bag rolling across the track. They'll want none of that. You don't want that getting stuck into a radiator, but good job by Alex Scaler there running that top 5.
Yeah, he's been able to actually open that margin up now to Opperman by a little bit, so running kind of a lonely 5th at this stage, which is okay. You'd rather be up in that battle in front of you, but at least you don't have to worry about pressure behind you. You just put your head down and try and close it up a little bit. And it's not that far out of reach for Scaler here. He's only, 4 seconds or so behind Snyder. But Finlayson, he is just running laps that are unbelievably quick relative to everybody else on the track right now. I mean, the closest guy was Schneider on that last lap.
And you think it's by 0.3 of a second, so he's really pacing this field, and he is out there running quicker than anyone else on the track, and he owns the lap record, and he owns the top speed so far at 138.6 miles an hour down that straightaway. So he is the class of the field so far in FE.
Did you say pacing the field or pasting the field?
Well, both.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, the number 7 of Vandenbush coming up, trying to work his way through as well.
And Jeff Reed there in front of him in that Fantasy Junction machine.
It's unfortunate that Reed seems to be having a little bit of an issue here, just not quite the pace that he's certainly capable of running here. And Vandenbush up from 14th to 9th, so good drive for the driver from Green Bay, Wisconsin, who runs out of Milwaukee region. Had a 4th in this class in 2009 at, in Formula Mazda in 2009 at Road America. So has gotten whisker close to a podium, but hasn't been able to put one together yet. Here's a look at Sabre Cook in the number 37, sitting in the 10th spot. And she has been doing double duty this weekend and having a good run here up into 10th, and also ran in SRF 3 in that massive 72 car field. So she's been in the wars this weekend already, no question.
Yeah, another one of those vehicles from Alliance Auto Sport. Prepping a lot of different makes of cars here. Spec Racer Fords, Formula E's. I believe they saw a couple prototype 2s under their tent. So great prep shop that's out of that region.
It's interesting. We were talking about Quentin Nelson running in the 8th spot in the 112. That's another Alliance Auto Sport entry. And rumor has it that might be Reddick's personal car that Scott gave to him. So had he not had that issue early, you know that car is tuned to win.
Absolutely capable of doing it. And that's a double-edged sword there. If you don't do good, it's kind of like, well, okay, well, I guess it's my fault, then, not the car. Can't blame the car.
Well, and the whole thing, of course, the concept of this class in general being a spec class is you can't blame the car because it is exactly identical to every other car out there other than maybe a little setup change and, of course, the graphics.
Well, Alexson had a problem there as he's moved now behind Snyder. Snyder gotten around him. Not sure what happened there, but Gordon, you saw him coming down Holman Boulevard. There looks like there was some damage to his right front wing as it was hanging down just a little bit, just a little askew, and that could have been from banging a curb or possible contact, but it looks like, see, Gordon.
Oh, yeah, that is
Snyder than Alexson now.
That's a good point. You wonder if he maybe didn't get in there and have a little bit of contact. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you can see it just sort of hanging down there on the right side. I don't think that's really going to affect him too much. You don't see it flapping or hanging off. And Alexson falling off the pace now, has lost this second and third places. Woo, little lock up there for Snyder down into that corner, trying everything he can to close that gap up for second.
Well, now that he's sitting in that third spot, which he's already got 2 bronze medals, I think he's saying, it'd be nice to add a silver at least to that collection. So he's got a taste of it now, and he's going to really, really push hard. And, of course, he knows the speed of Alexson, so he wants to make sure he's got something back to Alexson, as we've got 4 laps left. 3 the next time Finlayson comes by start-finish. Working nice job by the traffic there, just staying out of the way, pointed him by.
Wants to let all these leaders go by him.
I think that's Keith McDonald again. He's just been struggling here this weekend and doing the best he can right now to not impact the run for the medals here. And that wing that you talked about, it doesn't need much to disrupt things a little bit and give Snyder that possible advantage. And sure the crew has told Snyder, hey, right now Gordon's got a little damage on that front wing. It might not be turning in as well. Hound him.
Yeah, start pushing. If you start pushing him there, you can force him into a mistake, as he's going to have to not be able to put that car where he was doing it earlier, and you get out of his rhythm, you have a good chance to move to that second place in the podium. And it's, as we learned before, it's never over till it's over here. And it doesn't look like it's affecting him too much, as he was the second quickest car that last time by. We'll see if he does it this time by. And Finlayson was the first time that he was not the quickest on the track.
Well, he's got such a big lead right now, up at over 11 seconds, that at this stage, you don't want to back off too much. That's when you start making mistakes and the like. But he knows he doesn't have to maybe pound the curbs as hard, and could just kind of make sure he hits all of his marks and be super smooth and clean. Not the case for Gordon in that number 6. He has got a 2-time medalist chasing and hounding.
Well, needs to get with his crew and let them know that whatever damage I did to that wing, let's set that up every time, because he just went green, his personal best so far, to 140.533. So whatever happened to that wing, let's make sure we set that up.
And he is a Runoffs rookie, so doing an absolutely superb job. Couple of wins, 9 podiums in majors competition. So he certainly has the pace on the national level here, but first time at the Runoffs. I have a feeling that running at Indy was part of that attraction to make sure that he got here. Now he might be in with a potential silver medal.
Yeah, he's working his way up into that silver position, and he has really done a great job into the regional there in the Florida region, and doing a good job there as Gordon just takes a tear off there. Kind of ran a little bit wide. Paul Snyder starting to battle more.
Yep.
We talked about if you can start pushing him, you get him out of his rhythm, you might have a chance to make that move. But Gordon really Snyder pushed himself through turn number 13 and 14. You can see how it just dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You overdrive those corners, especially 13. You need the drive. You need to really give up almost the exit of 12 to get the run out of 13. And again, Gordon so close to the wall and sketchy on the brakes. And the number 23,
Ray Mason,
is stuck in the gravel here as we have 2 laps to go. Not sure exactly where that was, Jeff. Hopefully it's in an area that they can just continue to race here.
Of course.
Here's a look at it.
Oh, just got it a little hung up there, and turn number 6 and into the gravel. Because a lot of people know Ray Mason. You've seen him run in the Grand Am Series, IMSA Series, Pirelli World Challenge, Columbus Trucking out of Ohio, and just a great gentleman and loves coming out here racing. It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle he's in, and unfortunately just tried to fight it all the way till the end and lost it right there at the end.
Yeah, it just snapped on him and couldn't quite save it. Alexson now is starting to, Scaler in 5th is starting to close up on Alexson. It had been about 5 seconds. He's back, and he's trimmed that now to about 2.5. You can just, right there at the bottom of the screen, just see him pop into view here. So he is coming after him at this stage.
Haven't talked much about this driver. We talked a lot about it. Haven't seen much of him because he's just so far ahead. But coming up to the white flag, 1 lap to go as they cross the line for Finlayson.
Yeah, he has just been absolutely remarkable in his pace here from that pole. Hasn't put a wheel wrong. You just watch, and right now he is just driving absolute precision personified, Jeff. He knows the drill here on this last lap.
And you can see how stable his car was. You saw his head move, and he was looking way ahead in the corner, just doing a superb job driving here.
Oh, and Snyder has rebounded and is attacking big time on Gordon. Gordon opening up here in that entrance to turn 2. He knows he does not want Snyder close, and it worked. That big arc. You know, had Snyder been a little closer, you may have wanted to just try and stuff it down the inside into 2. Didn't, and as a result, Gordon got a great launch out of 2.
He did. He knows that this is the last lap, so he's going to be pushing as hard as he can. You can see he's trying to arc that corner up a little bit there. You got to be careful, that safety truck there to remove Ray Mason's car, but he's going to try to get her back up. A little twitch there coming out of Holman Boulevard, and there is lap traffic. Where will they catch this car? And let's see if it does not hold up Gordon. Finlayson can off to the win here, but Snyder definitely wants to try to pounce through the S's.
Yeah, coming up on Denny Markline out of Dodgeville, Wisconsin, Milwaukee region, the Duke's Brew Pub and Ale House entry. Denny, pretty experienced, runs these a lot, but he's got some very fast traffic coming up. Does what he's supposed to. Hold your line, stay out there, and let these guys come through, and they both slice through. Now, the interesting thing will be for Alexson if he gets trapped. Scaler is now within 1.5 seconds. Meanwhile, onto the front straight, pole, sweep, and checkers. Tremendous run. Elliott Finlayson out of Yorkville, Illinois, your national champion in Formula Enterprises. Here's the battle for second to the line. Gordon had enough in hand, it looks like. Snyder giving him a run, and Scaler closing it up, but not quite close enough. Alexson will hang on to 4th, but Scaler a great final few laps. And turned, look at that, a 139.9 on his last lap by Scaler to almost take away 4th spot. But a great race throughout here. Obviously, Finlayson absolutely dominant, but that battle for second throughout this entire race, Jeff, just superb.
It was nose to tail battling along, but it was Finlayson getting the win. But congratulations to Justin Gordon and Paul Snyder for your podium in Formula E.
Yeah, just a fabulous run, no question about it. Dean Opperman sitting in 6th, just missing off on that top 5. Barkow up into 7th. Quentin Nelson rebounding into 8th. Saber Cook, good run, into 9th. And Van de Busch sitting in that 10th spot. But the day belongs to Elliott Finlayson. What a remarkable run he put in. We're going to be seeing and hearing a lot about this guy in the future.
Absolutely. And of course, this is what a lot of these drivers look for. You get into the Formula E category, you come to the SCCA runoffs, you win a national championship, and you're trying to move up this racing ladder. You might be able to get into the Pro Mazda series or the Road to Indy, all part of that Mazda program. And these running these 2.3-liter Mazda engines that they set up with that Road to Indy. John Doonan, we talked to him yesterday from Mazda. It's just all part of that working your way up the ladder.
It is indeed, and they support these drivers and these teams so very strongly. And look at that great acknowledgement by Snyder to Gordon, and obviously for Finlayson, when you clock somebody like that, boy, in a spec class, that tells you that you've got the gift.
You do. You have that little talent, so to speak.
Exactly.
And, you know, you come here, there's a lot of eyes on this event too. So you're in an open wheel. There's what better place to do it than the heart of Indianapolis too, with all the IndyCar teams that are based out here. You know, you never know. Could be getting a ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting, top 2 runoffs rookies. So remarkable job here. And in 3rd, a 3rd bronze medal for Mr. Snyder. Again, Paul out of Charlotte, North Carolina, for Compran Motorsports and Cyvel Images, doing another very, very solid run. And that's what you love here. Pulling the pit lane, you see those officials where you normally would turn into tech, and they say, no, you keep going. That means you get to go get interviewed by Hayward, and that means in short order there's going to be a medal draped around your neck. Doesn't get more special than that. And here comes Elliott parking it in that very special designated position in pit lane. And that helmet's going to come off, and he is going to have an opportunity to chat with Hayward. And then they give him that very special flag, Jeff, that you get to go out and take around the track. Boy, that's got to bring the goosebumps up.
Yeah, that's a momentum all in itself, seeing the outline of this course with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway logo on that flag, getting that lap. If I get one, I'm going to frame that on my wall, no matter what track it's from, but very special to have it here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
And you can see him peeling off the arm restraints that everybody's required to run in an open wheel, open cockpit car, which is smart indeed. Helmet comes off, and Elliott Finlayson, your gold medalist, is about to have that draped around his neck. But first, a quick chat with our man in pit lane, Hayward Wagner. And Hayward, this guy is savoring the moment, isn't he?
Elliot, a great drive for you here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Was there an opportunity to relax and take it all in, or were you up on the wheel the whole time?
I'd say the last 5 laps was just making sure the car came back in one piece and taking it easy and definitely being cautious of maybe a full course caution coming out. So I wanted to kind of keep my tires there at the end if I needed to.
Now, as you were taking the helmet off, your helmet guy said, no, leave it on. He wanted it in the shot. I know you've got some people to thank.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have to thank Bell Racing USA, Chris Wheeler, and all the guys at Bell. They have great, it's a great product, and, they have great trackside support here, so I can't thank them enough. And my whole performance effects crew, my dad, my uncle, and my other uncle here too, and my whole family, my girlfriend, my friends are here, and all kinds of people. So yeah, and I got to thank Mazda Motorsports as well, and Primus Racing Parts and American Racer for working with us so well in this FE class.
Well, a family celebration here in pit road for the Formula Enterprises national champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
In dominant form, no less. He showed that potential, certainly, with his qualifying run in a plate. Look at that, almost 13 seconds in the spec class. That's just superb. Gordon Snyder, Alexson, and Scaler, your top 5. As I said, Opperman, Barkow, Quentin Nelson rebounding up into 8th, Saber Cook in 9th, and Dale Vandenbush completing the top 10. Just a remarkable run, obviously. And then that battle for second, it had Gordon in it, it had Schneider in it, it had for a while Quentin Nelson in it. And in the end, Gordon survived even contact and a damaged front wing to be able to bring that machine home in the second spot. And that's a bit of an accomplishment itself.
It is. To be able to battle in the lap times that he was pulling with that wing was doing a great job. And now we talk about that damage to the wing. Let's get down to Hayward Wagner again with Gordon.
Gordon, silver medal here in the Runoffs and Formula Enterprises. You had a pretty good scrap in this race.
Yeah, from the start, Finlinson just drove away, so my only job was to, keep everybody off of me and drive my line, hit my marks, and, we did that well, and, the whole deal was chasing him like a rabbit, so I think we did well. I'm happy with the car with J Motorsports and, everybody that helped out my dad. It was a great race. Here at Indy, it's my first Runoffs, so I'm happy.
Congratulations on the silver.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, first Runoffs and you get a silver, not too shabby.
Not bad at all. And you saw, once again, that SARRC, South Atlantic Road Racing Conference, had a little champion patch there in his first year of racing as well in that region.
Absolutely, and the guy that took up the chase of Gordon here when obviously Quentin Nelson had his issues and Alexson dropped back a little bit, Paul Schneider, and he's with Hayward.
Paul, it's a lot of work chasing a teenager around this place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. 2 of them. It's pretty tough out there. So another third place, but I'm actually happy about this one. It's Indy, and I'm on the podium.
So congratulations to you on the bronze.
Thank you. And I'd like to say hi to my wife and my daughter back home, and thanks to my dad and Comprint Motorsports for helping this week.
Absolutely, and feeling a lot better this year, not just because of the fact he's running at Indy, but not dealing with recovering from appendicitis either. So that had to be a pretty painful run last year. So, Formula Enterprises, the run for the gold in the books here for the 54th running of SCCA's National Championship Runoffs. Congratulations to Elliot Finlayson, the gold medal winner, and to Gordon and Snyder. That filled out the podium and got the silver and bronze, respectively. We're going to wrap things up here in our coverage of Formula Enterprises here at the 54th running of SCCA's National Championship Runoffs at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Coming up next, GT1. Coverage of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs is presented by Mazda. Driving matters.
Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The Mazda 3.
Every stitch is a part of me. All these shapes and designs express our devotion to craftsmanship. I want people to feel our passion when they touch it and when they drive it.
The all-new Mazda CX-5.